Miss Asoma call being family you 247
on
media
Saturday.
so Mr.
I
say
had never dreamt
unya
about
and
him.
subscribe ya
He
na
told
what's
me
my
he's going to
fast.
build
I'm a many
his
at
house
also.
on a mountain,
Yina ya
and that's
brand
where he's
here
living with the
yedishie
wife and
bibia
the
Christian the chua
children.
na ye
He
say
was
okay
extremely
binya
happy.
news bia
So
ebeye
it gave me
asem
hope
no
that Atsu
I
wasn't
ain't
dead.
menya ne sa no.
And then
Ever say last
20,
Sunday
30
na
minutes later, I had a
obi pie
trance.
Ghana
I'm sure you know
ne body ne
the
be pie Ghana.
difference between a dream.
Na
I
wakoyi ne
dreamt
ho
about
adi
him
e de akire
On
Crime
Saturday.
on
Check
Saturday.
Foundation
I had
CEO
never
no.
dreamt about him.
Na enye
He told
baako
me
so
he's going to
woyi ne
build
ho adi so akire
his
nipa
house on a
bebrebe
mountain.
na
And that
yɛnkɔtie
is why
asɛm
he's
a
living with
Crime
the
Check
wife and
Foundation
the children.
CEO no
He
ɛkaeɛ
was
abere a
extremely happy.
hu atwu wɔ ne daeɛ
So,
mu no.
on the day he was found, I dreamt about him.
On Saturday.
On Saturday, I had never dreamt about him. He told me he's going to build his house on a mountain, and that is where he's living with the wife and the children. He was extremely happy. So it gave me hope that Atsu wasn't dead. And then 20, 30 minutes later, I had a trance. I'm sure you know the difference between a dream and a trance. And he told me that his land was being prepared and that I will see him on Tuesday. So I don't interpret dreams. So I was happy that we are going to see Atsu. So I picked up my phone later on, same dawn, and I had a message from Murat, his agent, that Atsu has been found but dead. So it took my mind back that his land is being prepared. So his land is being prepared for burial. That is the interpretation I got. And then whilst coming to your studio, a lady called me that he dreamt about Atsu. He gave her two letters to be given to, one to the chief imam and one to me, that we shouldn't stop the projects that we started with him. So as Muslims, we believe in life after death. We believe that when one dies, that is not the end. And per the dreams, we believe that he is resting well.
Nti wotie nsɛm a Crime Check Foundation CEO ne kaeɛ na kyerɛ sɛ da esum kɔ na atwu di kan ka kyerɛ ne sɛ yɛaprepare n'asase ama no awie but ɛnam sɛ na ɔnte daeɛ no ase nti no na ɔnim sɛ bi atwu sɛ ɛba but atwu antumi amma oyi ne ho adi kyerɛ daeɛ mu sɛ n'asase a yɛde ama no no ayɛ ready awie nti ɔkɔ n'asase so nti na akɔyɛ awerɛhosɛm na anso hɔnom a ɔsan so kyerɛkyerɛ kwan a na atwu fa so boa amanfoɔ eti pɛ sɛ no so yɛkɔtie ba na yɛsan atoa so.
Tell us about how Atsu and you ended up in this bromance, this love story that you have with him.
Well, I don't know where to start from, but he had been monitoring us for some time, what we do at Crime Check Foundation. And then, so he reached out to me one day, about 5 years ago, 6, thereabout, that...
He reached out to you?
Absolutely, because he's been monitoring us on social media. And so he decided to link up so that we work together. So that gave birth to our Petty Offenders Project, because we hadn't started the Petty Offenders Project formally. And so his dream was to see to the fines of most petty offenders being paid, so that they avoid the prospect of recidivism, where they have to go into the prison, come back and then re-offend. So he started pouring money into the Petty Offenders Project, through which many petty offenders were released, and not only released, but reintegrated into society. So if you look at our ex-convict reintegration project, where he played a key role, we even held a press conference that, if you look at the picture, that was the day we held a press conference, which he spoke and then urged government to ensure the passage of the non-custodial sentencing bill into law. You may be aware that the non-custodial sentencing bill has been in Parliament for so many years, and then he has consistently advocated its passage into law to avoid a situation whereby someone goes to steal a fowl, someone goes to steal banana, and the person finds himself in jail. He's been speaking passionately about it, and what worried him a lot, the fact that because we don't have proper classification of our prisons, petty offenders are mixed with hardened criminals. So the petty offender who may have gone to steal an egg goes in there and comes out hardened. He thought that didn't make sense, and so he's been pushing for the passage. Unfortunately, he's gone today. It's a pity. I don't even know where to end. But we've lost a monumental figure. Apart from he advocating for the passage of the non-custodial sentencing bill into law, it would interest you to know that he's released over 150 prisoners. He paid their fines, ensured their release, and giving capital for most of them to trade. It appears, unfortunately, that when we mention Atsu and crime check, the overriding idea is that he's released people from prison and reintegrated them. He did more than that. Under our health check series, he paid the medical bills of many individuals who are not prisoners. We call them medical prisoners. He paid for surgeries for these individuals as well. Under our general charity series, he also gave trading capital to lots of widows and orphans. Under our educational support series, he also paid the school fees of many students across the country. And so you can imagine what he did. He did a lot. He did a lot for humanity. He typifies humanity. He typifies humility. And I think that is one trademark that all of us have learned from him. You recall on the 18th of June, I lost my wife to breast cancer in Turkey. And I didn't tell him my wife wasn't well. And he heard it, and then a stranger was persistently calling me. And I couldn't pick because I was hot then. And the message he sent us is, Christian Atsu, please pick the call, it's up. Pick the call. And so I picked, and he said, I'm going to send you some money through my agent, Murat, $3,600. It was that money that I used to pay for my wife's, there's a casket, I don't know the right way, to be brought home. And then, so yesterday I couldn't go to the airport because it would have given me some memories that would have been problematic. I just couldn't go. And then he was found on the 18th of this month. My wife died on the 18th of June. I don't know whether it's a spiritual coincidence. And then later on, when we had gone to Portia Media Secondary School to build a clinic in memory of my late wife, we got to know that Atsu also attended Portia Media Secondary School. So you can imagine the connection. And so it's a very difficult period for all of us. He's created a huge gap that will be very difficult to fill. One thing about him was he didn't want people to know about all these sacrifices, all these monies that he was, doling out to the poor. And he would also, Graham perhaps knows better that he wasn't the type of footballer who was collecting $200,000 a week, $300,000 a week and more. The little he was collecting at Newcastle, at Chelsea, and so on and so forth, he was still devoting these monies to the welfare of the poor, the needy, and the voiceless. So it's a pity. It's a huge gap that will be difficult to fill.
Enti Atsu bua nipa bebrebe wo kwan bebrebe so wona odeka wona ya che omatuma ediska to omo so eso koyi omo jese ensem bebrebe obo amafo bebrebe school fees ya hodo omamanfo ska de adwuma, but the name the pan say na ompese obi ya behunu na ompese obi ya behunu. Enti Atsu erade fa ne kransie yi na do ya wo ye no se hwe mo omususu Atsu ndaye na de mu ka nyina ne se Atsu se adoye na no ye no he no mu njai omonto aso na che se ya de na efi na komam na Atsu sika na oje na nye Ronaldo musika ni bi na nye Messi musika ni bi, but or try say kakra na obenya na nyina no still or de be wura adwuma nim. Enti enye sika dodo obenya na asase so na kire se 7 preduasa obeboa adwuma no anase omwa na emu akoma penti yesese rade emfa Atsu ensie Abraham kukum na oman baby papa mfa no ntena maye enkosi se ibihia bi nyese na ye pe no so no enya bawi o se ye timi echichire ho re na hwe nemu dia kana edoso meso se unya en subscribe ma me a Leo 247 media obe subscribe na wi a ode mato all notification said the be post video be first person a ubenya bi ahwe. Bye bye.
And so we are going to continue with what he started. And we are very optimistic that it is going to open a new chapter, perhaps, to help in the reformation and rehabilitation of our prisons, something we've been advocating for years. I also hope that Parliament will listen and this time quicken the passage of the non-custodial sentencing bill into law, because this is something that is dear to his heart. And so that is the little that I can say.
Elsewhere, they would have passed this bill and named it after him.
Absolutely. So let me use a platform. And we would have the Graham is here. He's a sports, man. To also push for this bill, for his name to be associated with the bill, perhaps name it Christian Atsu non-custodial sentencing law. That is, if it is eventually passed into law. We could as well also think of maybe having an annual lecture, a Christian Atsu annual lecture, to tout his achievements, so that people will learn the essence of humanity. People will learn the need to be humble, because that is one trademark that is associated with his name.